Captain Alex Rayner stepped off the shuttle and onto the crowded observation deck of Lyra Station. The space station hung like a giant jewel in orbit around the lavender-hued planet below. Ships of every shape and size darted through the docking. Bays and the hum of engines and chatter of aliens filled the air. To humans, the station was overwhelming, a kaleidoscope of colors, smells, and sounds. But to Alex, it was a chance to see another culture, another world, and maybe make a difference. He adjusted his jacket and glanced around. Traders called out in dozens of languages, offering exotic goods, glowing crystals, fabrics that shifted colors, and strange devices that hummed with energy. Most of the shoppers were Lyrans, tall, lithe humanoids with skin that shimmered like polished stone. Their eyes were larger than humans, often glowing faintly in colors Alex had no names for. He had read about them in the space councils. Reports, but nothing prepared him for the reality of standing among them. Alex's mission was simple: deliver a diplomatic message from Earth and learn about Lyran culture. But he also had another goal: satisfy his curiosity. He had always loved discovering new worlds, learning about how different beings thought and lived. And today, he had a feeling something extraordinary would happen. As he walked through the market, he noticed a small crowd gathered near a fountain that shimmered with a liquid that looked like liquid light. At the center of the crowd was a young Lyran girl, no older than 16 by human standards. Her hair was a cascade of silver, and her eyes glowed softly with a bright, curious green. She moved with grace, but her hands fumbled slightly as she tried to examine a floating device that none of the others seemed to notice. Alex stepped closer. "Hello," he said, hoping she would understand basic human speech. The girl looked up sharply, her glowing eyes widened. "Human?" she whispered in Lyran, but her voice carried a note of excitement. Then she spoke in careful Common, the language of space traders. You are here, you walk among us," Alex smiled. "Yes, I'm Alex Rayner from Earth. I come in peace," the girl blinked. "Peace? Yes, peace, but you do not understand our ways." Alex tilted his head. "I'd like to learn them. Can you teach me?" Her gaze was intense. "Perhaps," she said. She stepped closer, tilting her head curiously. "I am Lyra. You are different. Your ways strange, but fascinating." Alex chuckled. "I get that a lot." Before he could say more, a merchant shouted, "Be careful, human, that is private property." Alex turned and saw a floating orb of light hovering near Lyra. She reached out to touch it, but the merchant grabbed her hand lightly. Lyra pulled back, but Alex, acting on instinct, reached out to steady her. In Lyran culture, the gesture was powerful. Touching someone's hand to steady them was a public claim of bond, a lifelong promise, especially between mates. Alex had no idea. He just wanted to help. The crowd gasped. Lyra froze, staring at Alex with wide eyes. You claimed me," she whispered. Alex blinked. "Wait, what? Claimed you? I didn't mean to. I was just helping." A murmur ran through the crowd. Lyrans began whispering to each other, pointing at him and Lyra. Alex noticed a few of the older Lyrans nodding gravely. His stomach tightened. Something serious had just happened. Lyra's face turned bright red, though in Lyran terms, it was more of a glowing pink shimmer across her skin. You, she stammered, unable to finish her sentence. Alex held up his hands. Okay, I promise I didn't mean anything. I just wanted to help you, that's all." A tall Lyran stepped forward. His skin gleamed like dark bronze, and his voice was calm but firm. "Human, this is no small matter. Lyra belongs to no one yet, but your action, it is interpreted as a claim." Alex frowned. "Claim? Like a mate?" He wasn't sure he had heard correctly. The Lyran nodded slowly. "Yes. In our culture, a claim is binding. A mate, once claimed, cannot bond with another. It is a sacred promise." Alex's mind raced. "You're telling me I accidentally promised to marry her? Elira's glow dimmed slightly as she looked at him. Yes, you claimed me. The law, you cannot undo it easily. Alex swallowed. This was complicated. Extremely complicated and extremely dangerous. He was a human in a foreign culture, and his misunderstanding could create a political incident. Okay, he said slowly, trying to keep calm. Then, we need to explain. There must be a way to fix this. I didn't mean to break your laws. I didn't know. Elira shook her head, but her voice softened. Your ways are strange, but your heart seems good. Perhaps this is not all bad. Alex gave a small, nervous smile. Good? I hope so. Just then, Elira's family arrived. A group of 4 adults, tall and imposing, approached with a mix of curiosity and authority. The eldest, a woman with pale golden skin and glowing violet eyes, spoke first. Elira, child, what has happened? Elira pointed at Alex. Human. He claimed me. I did not understand. He touched my hand. And Alex held up his hands again. I didn't mean to. I was just helping her not fall. The eldest Lyran woman studied him carefully. Humans, you are strange creatures. You do not follow our rules, yet you can cause binding promises with a single touch. She looked at Elira. And you? Are you angry? Elira hesitated, then shook her head. No. Surprised? Confused? But not angry? The woman turned to Alex. This claim, it cannot be ignored. You must follow Lyran customs until a proper council can decide. We cannot simply erase it. Alex sighed. I see. Then, I guess I'll have to learn your customs quickly. Elira's parents exchanged a glance. Perhaps this human can show us new ways. Perhaps he can be taught. Alex grinned nervously. I'm a fast learner, and I promise I'll be careful. Elira stepped closer to him, still glowing faintly with her surprise and curiosity. You strange human. You may cause trouble, but maybe we will see. The crowd dispersed slowly, whispering about the unusual event. Some elders shook their heads, some laughed quietly, and some young Lyrans looked at Alex with awe. In that moment, Alex realized something important. Humans, though small and strange to aliens, could make a difference, not by strength alone, but by courage, honesty, and clever thinking. For the rest of the day, Alex followed Elira through the market. She showed him Lyran customs, how they greeted each other, how they traded goods, and how they expressed respect. Alex tried not to touch anything, though it was hard. Every movement had a meaning in Lyran culture, and he worried that another misunderstanding could happen at any moment. Despite the tension, Alex began to understand Elira. She was curious, brave, and intelligent. And while she was shocked by the claim, she was not hostile. She laughed at his clumsy attempts to communicate in Lyran, and she explained cultural concepts he could never have imagined. As the day ended, the station's lights dimmed slightly, and the lavender planet below reflected soft light onto the observation deck. Alex and Elira stood quietly watching ships glide through the sky. You will not leave me alone, human? Elira asked, a hint of a smile in her voice. Alex shook his head. No. I'm here now. I want to understand your world. And I want to make sure I don't mess things up more than I already have. Elira looked at him thoughtfully. Then, perhaps, we will learn together. Alex felt a strange sense of hope. He had come to Lyra Station expecting diplomacy, trade, and observation. Instead, he had accidentally entered a bond that could change both their worlds. But for the first time, he realized that humans could thrive anywhere. not because they were stronger, but because they were clever, brave, and adaptable. And as the stars shimmered above the station, Alex wondered what adventures awaited him, and whether this unexpected claim might turn into something remarkable. The next morning, Captain Alex Rayner woke early in the guest quarters of Lyra Station. The room was sleek and clean, with walls that glowed softly in calming colors. Outside, the station's corridors were already bustling with Lyrans and traders from other worlds. But Alex had little time to observe. Today he would meet Alira's family formally and try to explain the misunderstanding of the claim. He dressed quickly, adjusting the strap of his communicator. He wanted to appear respectful and careful, but most of all, he wanted to survive. The first official interaction without making things worse. After all, he had just accidentally claimed a young Lyran girl as his mate, a bond that, by their culture, could not be broken lightly. As he stepped into the corridor, Alira appeared, gliding toward him with her usual grace. Her glow was faint but noticeable, signaling curiosity and some residual tension. "Good morning, human," she said, her voice careful but friendly. "Morning," Alex replied with a smile. I hope I didn't wake you too early." Alira tilted her head. "I do not sleep much. Our customs are different. Your ways. Sleep often?" Alex chuckled. "Yes, most humans need sleep, but I've learned to wake early when needed." Alira's glowing eyes softened slightly. "Perhaps this will help you learn quickly." They walked together through the station's corridors, and Alex noticed the attention they drew. Lyrans whispered, and some young ones pointed. He tried not to think about it. He knew that in their eyes he was no ordinary visitor. He was someone who had done something extraordinary, though entirely accidental. When they reached Alira's family quarters, they were met by her mother, the tall woman with golden skin and glowing violet eyes, and her father, a strong figure with bronze-tinted skin. Two younger siblings peeked from behind a doorway, curious but cautious. "Alira," her mother said, her voice gentle but firm. "You have brought this human here. Speak. Explain what has happened." Alira hesitated, then pointed at Alex. Human. He claimed me. I did not understand. He touched my hand, and the crowd, they saw..." Alex raised his hands immediately. "I didn't mean to. I was just helping her not fall." Her father stepped forward, his eyes narrow but not hostile. "You do not understand. Our law is human. Here a claim is sacred. Once made, it cannot be ignored. You have disrupted the natural order." Alex swallowed, thinking fast. I understand that now. But on Earth, humans do not have this kind of rule. We do not bind others with a simple gesture. I had no idea it would mean this. I apologize." The mother studied him for a long moment. "Your words show honesty. That is uncommon among our people, especially outsiders." Alex felt a small relief. Honesty was his strongest card. "I promise to respect your customs from now on. I will learn. I do not want to cause trouble. I only want to understand." Alira's glow brightened slightly as she looked at him. "He tries. He is not cruel. That may be enough." The father nodded slowly. "Perhaps. But there are others who may not see it this way. You must be careful. The council, they decide on all claims. Until then, you must remain under observation." Alex's stomach tightened. Observation? He could handle being watched, but he had no idea what that meant for him socially or politically. Over the next few hours, Alex was introduced to several Lyran elders and council members. Each of them spoke in measured tones, observing him closely. Some asked questions about human culture, others about his personal ethics and past experiences. Alex answered honestly, sometimes struggling to explain concepts like democracy, free, choice, and human emotions. Alira stayed nearby, guiding him through the cultural maze. She explained gestures that were respectful, phrases that were polite, and signs that were insulting. Alex found it fascinating, though exhausting. Every movement had meaning, Every word had weight. One wrong gesture and he could cause offense or worse. At lunch, they sat in a dining hall that floated above the station, offering a view of space stretching infinitely in all directions. Lyran food shimmered like liquid light, and Alex hesitated before trying it. He took small bites, careful not to make a mess, while Elira watched him closely. "You eat strangely," she said, her tone playful. "But you survive." Alex laughed. "I eat slowly when I'm unsure, and yes, I survive. So far." Elira giggled, the sound like a soft chime. "Perhaps humans are adaptable." Her mother watched them quietly. "Adaptable. Yes. That may be why you are here, human. That may be why the claim is not catastrophic." Alex nodded. "I hope so. I do not want to cause harm. I only want to learn and understand." The day continued with more lessons in Lyran culture. Alex learned about their communication methods, subtle changes in glow, slight gestures of hands and eyes, and even telepathic echoes that humans could only sense faintly. Elira demonstrated patiently, correcting him when he misunderstood. By afternoon, Alex was exhausted but beginning to understand the subtlety and depth of Lyran society. He realized that humans were different, but perhaps these differences could be strengths. Where Lyrans relied on strict rules, humans thrived on creativity, problem-solving, and adaptability. If used wisely, these traits could earn him respect, not just from Elira's family, but from the council. Just as he began to feel confident, a commotion erupted near the market entrance. Alex and Elira hurried toward the noise and saw a young Lyran man, slightly older than Elira, arguing loudly with traders. His glow flickered red. Anger or frustration, Alex could not tell. "This human," the man shouted, "he is not worthy. He has claimed my kin without understanding." Alex's stomach sank. Here was another challenge. He stepped forward cautiously. "I'm trying to learn. I did not know about your rules. Please calm down." Elira placed a hand on his arm, her glow soothing. "Do not fight. Listen. Observe. We solve this with wisdom, not anger." Alex took a deep breath and nodded. He had learned that humans' greatest advantage here might not be strength, but calm thinking, honesty, and cleverness. The young Lyran's anger subsided slightly as he spoke with the elders. Alex watched carefully, noting every gesture, every nuance in tone. He realized that misunderstandings could escalate quickly, but careful observation and thoughtful action could diffuse almost any situation. By evening, the council convened a formal discussion. Alex and Elira were present, along with several elders, her parents, and the young man who had argued earlier. Alex was tense but determined. He knew that his future, and Elira's trust, depended on how he conducted himself here. The head elder spoke first. "Human, you have disrupted our customs. Yet, you have shown respect and honesty. The bond is real, though unintended. You must now prove that your intentions are pure and that you are capable of understanding Lyran ways." Alex nodded. "I understand. I am willing to learn and follow your guidance. I do not wish to disrespect your people or traditions." Elira looked at him with quiet pride. "He listens. That is good." The council agreed to observe him further, assigning tasks to test his understanding of Lyran culture, ethics, and adaptability. Alex realized that these trials would be more than ceremonial. They were a measure of whether humans could truly bridge the gap between species. As the meeting ended, Elira whispered, "Tomorrow begins the real challenge. You must be clever, careful, and kind. Can you do that?" Alex smiled. "I will try my best. I've faced worse than tricky customs before." Elira laughed softly. "Perhaps, but not with a whole society watching. That is new." As they left the council chamber, Alex looked out over the station. The stars glittered in the void, and the planet below glowed with soft, swirling colors. He felt a mix of fear, excitement, and determination. Humanity had survived countless challenges on Earth, and now, in a distant galaxy, he would prove that human ingenuity, courage, and kindness could face even the most alien of cultures. And though he had stumbled into the situation, by accident, Alex knew one thing clearly: he would not fail. Not for Elira, not for the humans who sent him, not for the future that might depend on humans showing their strength, not in dominance but in cleverness, heart, and the ability to understand others. Tomorrow, the real lessons would begin. And Alex Rayner, human among Lyrans, was ready to learn, adapt, and prove that even the smallest and strangest of humans could make a difference. The sun-like lights of Lyra Station shimmered softly across the observation deck as Captain Alex Rayner prepared for his first official trial. Elira stood beside him, glowing faintly with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Today would test whether humans, with all their unusual ways, could truly earn respect in Lyran society. Alex glanced at Elira. "So, what exactly is the first trial?" Elira tilted her head, her green eyes glowing. "The elders say, you must show understanding of our ways, in thought, in action, and in spirit. Not simple rules, but real heart." Alex nodded. "Sounds vague, but I'll do my best." Their first stop was a small courtyard filled with strange plants that shimmered in colors he had never seen. The air buzzed with tiny, hovering insects that glowed faintly. A Lyran elder stepped forward, her skin reflecting a soft violet hue. "Human," she said, her voice calm but firm. "Your first trial is one of observation and respect. You must navigate this garden and reach the center without harming any creature or plant. Many have failed, not out of malice, but out of carelessness." Alex took a deep breath. He knew that humans often relied on brute strength or speed, but here he would need something else: patience, awareness, and careful thinking. He stepped into the garden. The ground beneath him was soft and slightly luminescent. Every step caused a ripple of light. Tiny insects hovered around his feet, curious but delicate. He moved slowly, careful not to crush a single one. Elira floated beside him, whispering guidance. "Notice the glow. It is life. It is signal, not decoration. Step lightly, always aware." Alex focused. He observed patterns in the glowing, plants and insects, realizing that the garden was almost like a living puzzle. Each ripple, each flicker indicated how the garden responded to movement. He adjusted his steps, moving in harmony with the creatures. Halfway through, he encountered a large flower that blocked the path. Its petals shimmered like liquid silver, and a glowing insect rested on top. He froze. Any careless movement could harm it. He bent slightly, using his jacket to shield the insect while stepping around it. Elira's eyes widened. "Careful. Clever. You understand?" Alex smiled quietly. "It's just common sense and observation." When he reached the center, the elder nodded approvingly. "You have passed the first test: observation, patience, and respect, and these are valued traits, but the trial continues." Elira floated beside him, smiling. "You did well. Most humans, too fast, too forceful. You slow, careful. That is good." Alex felt a surge of pride. He was learning that humans' greatest strength might not be raw power, but intelligence, creativity, and adaptability. The second trial began immediately. Alex and Elira were led to a chamber filled with obstacles and shifting platforms. The task was clear: retrieve a glowing crystal from the far end of the chamber without touching any barriers. Alex examined the room. The barriers glimmered faintly, responding to motion with a magnetic force that could push or pull. He realized brute force would only make things worse. He needed strategy. He turned to Elira. "Any hints?" Elira grinned. "Not hints. Observation. Watch. Think. Adapt." Alex nodded. He took a slow, careful step. The first barrier moved slightly, responding to his proximity. He adjusted his path, testing reactions and learning patterns. Step by step he advanced, weaving through the barriers like a dancer. Halfway through, a platform shifted unexpectedly, threatening to throw him off balance. Alex jumped lightly and grabbed a nearby lever. The lever rotated part of the platform, creating a stable path. Elira clapped her hands softly. Clever. Human clever. Finally, he reached the crystal. He held it gently, careful not to disturb the rest of the setup. The elder watching nodded approvingly. Adaptability, intelligence, calm under pressure. These are human traits that can honor our culture. Alex exhaled. That was intense. Elira laughed. Yes, but you survive. You clever. This makes me proud. The third trial was unlike anything Alex had expected. They were taken to a chamber with a complex puzzle, a combination of moving lights, symbols, and telepathic cues. He realized that success required not just logic, but empathy. The puzzle responded to thoughts and emotions. Fear or anger made it shift unpredictably. Calm and clarity moved it steadily. Alex closed his eyes briefly, focusing on calmness, patience, and understanding. He felt the subtle hum in the room, aligning his thoughts with the patterns of light. Slowly, deliberately, he moved pieces into place. Every correct alignment caused a soft glow of approval. Elira watched in awe. When the final piece clicked, the chamber filled with a soothing hum, and the elder nodded. You have shown patience, creativity, and heart. You understand. This is more than rules, more than strength. You have shown humanity. Alex felt a warm satisfaction. For the first time, he realized why humans could thrive anywhere, not through domination, but through thought, courage, and compassion. But the trials were not over. As they exited the chamber, a commotion erupted outside. The young Lyran man from the previous day appeared again, his glow red with anger. This human, he does not belong. He should not claim what is ours. Alex's stomach sank. This rivalry was real and dangerous. But he remembered Elira's advice. Calm, cleverness, and understanding could overcome conflict. He stepped forward, hands raised. I am not here to take anything. I'm here to learn, to understand, to respect. If you challenge me, let it be. In understanding, not anger. The young man hesitated. Alex continued. If you let me prove myself not by force but by wisdom, then we can show everyone that humans are trustworthy. Elira floated beside him. He listens. He respects. He does not fight, unlike others. The young Lyran's glow dimmed slightly, his anger lessening. The elders nodded approvingly. Even the council watching the trials seemed impressed by Alex's calmness and clever thinking. That night, Elira and Alex walked along the observation deck, looking out over the swirling colors of the planet below. Alex's body ached from the trials, but his mind was sharp and alive. You passed the first trials, Elira said softly. But there will be more. Others may not like you. They will test you in ways harder than this. Alex nodded. I understand. I will do what I must. Not for myself, but for you, for your people, and for humanity. Elira smiled faintly. Perhaps humans are not so weak, after all. You, clever, brave, and kind. That is rare. Alex laughed, quietly. Kind, that's a good word. I try. As they walked in silence, Alex reflected on everything he had learned. The trials had tested more than physical skill. They had tested patience, empathy, intelligence, and courage. And humans, despite their differences, had shown themselves capable of these qualities. He realized that this was the essence of being human, the ability to adapt, to think quickly, to care deeply, and to face challenges without giving up. He may have stumbled into this bond by accident, but now he knew that he could handle it, not by breaking rules or using strength, but by being clever, kind, and determined. As Lyra Station's lights dimmed and the stars twinkled in the vastness of space, Alex felt a new confidence. Tomorrow would bring new trials and perhaps new dangers. But he was ready. He was human, and humans had survived against all odds, on Earth and now potentially among the stars. And Lyra, glowing softly beside him, seemed to understand that too. She had seen his courage, his patience, and his cleverness. Perhaps, she thought, humans were not only strange, they could also be remarkable. Alex Rayner, human among Lyrans, had passed the first steps of the trials. But he knew this was only the beginning. Challenges awaited, but he also knew something powerful. Humans could rise to meet any test, no matter how alien or difficult. Together, he and Lyra would face whatever came next, and humanity's ingenuity, courage, and kindness would shine in ways the galaxy had never seen. The day began quietly on Lyra Station, but Alex Rayner could feel tension in the air. He had passed the first trials, showing patience, cleverness, and respect for Lyran culture. Yet he knew that the trials were far from over. Some in the council still doubted humans, and the young Lyran who had challenged him before lingered nearby, his eyes sharp and suspicious. Lyra floated beside him, her green glow calm but alert. Today, you will see, not all welcome humans. Some may try to harm or trick. Alex nodded. I understand. I'll stay alert and careful. They entered the council chamber where the elders had prepared a new set of challenges. This trial would test their teamwork and trust, an unusual task for a human, but a critical measure in Lyran society. You must navigate the labyrinth of echoes, the head elder explained. It is a place where thoughts and intentions are mirrored. Only by working together can you succeed. A single selfish act or hesitation, and failure is certain. Alex looked at Lyra. We'll do this together? She smiled faintly. Yes, together. We trust each other. The labyrinth of echoes was a large, open space filled with shimmering walls of light that shifted with movement. Every thought and intention within the labyrinth caused subtle changes. Hesitation created barriers, doubt caused false paths, and fear amplified obstacles. Alex quickly realized that brute force would not work. Stay calm, Lyra whispered. Think clearly. Move carefully. Trust me. They entered the labyrinth. Immediately, the walls shifted, creating multiple paths. Alex held Lyra's hand lightly, careful not to make any gesture that could be misinterpreted in Lyran culture. Okay, he muttered. Let's focus on logic and observation. Lyra guided him, pointing to subtle changes in glow and patterns. Alex followed, using his human reasoning to predict how the walls would move. Step by step they advanced, facing increasingly complex paths. Midway, a sudden challenge appeared. A barrier blocked their path, glowing intensely. To pass, they had to synchronize their thoughts. Lyra telepathically conveyed intentions, and Alex matched them through focus and calm. It was strange and difficult, but slowly the barrier shimmered and parted. You understand faster than I expected, Lyra said, her glow brightening. Clever, brave, human clever. Alex smiled. Thanks. I'm learning from you. As they neared the center of the labyrinth, a new threat appeared. The young Lyran man from before materialized from the shadows, his glow red with anger. You do not belong here, he shouted, attempting to use a Lyran energy pulse to block their path. Alex reacted quickly, grabbing a reflective panel on the wall and redirecting the pulse harmlessly to the side. Lyra watched, impressed. Clever, quick thinking. You survive. Together, they reached the center, where a glowing orb awaited. Touching it would signify completion of the labyrinth. Alex and Elira synchronized their focus, placing their hands on the orb simultaneously. It pulsed with a soft light, signaling their success. The elders nodded in approval. You have passed this trial. You have shown teamwork, trust, and clarity. Humanity is more capable than we feared. Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. That was intense. Elira laughed softly. Yes, but we succeeded. Together. But just as they began to celebrate, a loud alarm blared through the station. Red lights flashed and the council's communication system crackled urgently. Security breach, a voice announced. Alex's heart sank. Not again? The alarm led them to the docking bay where chaos unfolded. The young Lyran man and several accomplices were attempting to kidnap Elira. Their goal was clear. If they could remove her from the station, it would invalidate Alex's claim and give them political advantage. Without hesitation, Alex ran toward the danger. His human instincts kicked in, analyzing the situation, identifying weak points, and acting decisively. Elira followed, her glow bright with determination. Step back, Alex shouted, grabbing a nearby energy rod. He used it to block one of the attackers, redirecting their force harmlessly. The other assailants rushed forward, but Alex used their momentum against them, guiding them into safe containment zones. Elira's telepathy helped, alerting him to movements he could not see. Together they outmaneuvered the attackers, using clever thinking instead of brute strength. One by one, the attackers were subdued or redirected, unable to harm Elira or themselves. Finally, the young Lyran man confronted Alex directly. You think you can protect her. You are human, weak and strange. Alex looked him in the eyes. I may be human, but humans are clever, brave, and willing to face danger for those we care about. I am not weak. I am determined. With a swift, careful maneuver, Alex redirected the final attack, causing the young Lyran to stumble harmlessly into a containment field. Elira's glow shifted to bright green, a signal of approval. The council arrived moments later, overseeing the aftermath. The young man and his accomplices were restrained safely. The elders nodded at Alex, a mixture of approval and astonishment in their expressions. You have proven yourself, the head elder said, not only in trials but in action. Your courage, intelligence, and quick thinking have saved Elira and upheld the spirit of your claim. Humanity has shown its worth. Alex exhaled deeply, finally allowing himself a moment of relief. I just did what needed to be done. Elira floated close, her glow softening. You do not just act. You think, you care, you protect. That is rare. As the chaos settled, Alex and Elira returned to the observation deck. The lavender planet below glimmered softly, reflecting the calm after the storm. They sat together looking at the stars. You faced danger today, Elira said quietly. And you did not fail. You protect, not for glory, but for care. Alex nodded. That's how humans survive. We face challenges not by fighting blindly, but by thinking, helping, and adapting. That's who we are. Elira smiled faintly. Then, perhaps humans are not so strange. After all, you, clever, brave, and kind. That is rare in this galaxy. Alex felt warmth in his chest. He realized that the trials had done more than test him. They had built a bond between him and Elira, a bond not of force or law but of mutual respect and trust. Later that evening, the council convened again. They formally recognized Alex's actions and his claim as valid, though unconventional. The elders spoke carefully, emphasizing that humans had qualities previously unknown to Lyrans: adaptability, courage, and creative problem-solving. You have proven that humans can rise to challenges, the head elder said. Your claim, while unexpected, has brought honor to both species. Let it be known, humans are worthy allies. Alex felt a mix of pride and humility. He had not sought recognition, only understanding and respect. Yet his actions had shown something larger, that humanity, even when small and far from home, could shine brightly in the galaxy. Elira glowed softly beside him. Tomorrow, the final trials may begin, but today, you earned trust, respect, and friendship. Alex smiled. Then we face tomorrow together. As they looked out over Lyra Station, the stars glimmering endlessly, Alex realized that the bond he had accidentally created might become something remarkable. Not just a claim, but a partnership based on trust, courage, and mutual understanding. He knew challenges would continue. The galaxy was full of dangers, rivalries, and unknown threats. But for the first time, he felt confident. Humans, though, strange and small compared to many alien species, had a unique strength, intelligence, courage, and the ability to inspire trust and loyalty. And with Elira by his side, he was ready for whatever came next. The morning on Lyra Station was quiet but tense. After the trials, the council had requested a final meeting to formally recognize Captain Alex Rayner's claim and review his actions. Elira floated beside him, her green glow calm yet bright, with curiosity. The events of the past days had brought them closer, bonded not by law alone but by trust and shared experiences. Alex adjusted his jacket, feeling the weight of responsibility. This meeting would not only affect his bond with Elira, but also the reputation of humans across the galaxy. Humans were often seen as unpredictable, sometimes reckless, and rarely trusted by other civilizations. Today, he would prove that humans could be clever, honorable, and capable of understanding cultures far beyond their own. As they entered the council chamber, the elders, Elira's family, and several Lyrans from across the station were already present. The atmosphere was serious, but there was a sense of anticipation. The young Lyran who had tried to challenge Alex stood at the back, his red glow dimmed to a neutral tone. The head elder spoke first. Captain Alex Rayner, human from Earth, you have faced trials that few could endure. You have shown respect for our laws, bravery in danger, and cleverness in challenges that require both heart and mind. Your actions have brought honor not only to yourself but also to your species. Alex bowed slightly, as was customary. I am grateful for your guidance and patience. I came here to learn, not to claim, and I hope my actions have shown respect for your people. The elder nodded. Indeed. Though your initial claim was accidental, your dedication and intelligence have proven your worth. Elira, do you consent to this recognition? Elira looked at Alex. She remembered the moments of danger, the clever problem-solving, and the way he had respected her culture even when it seemed confusing. Slowly, she nodded. I consent. He has earned trust and friendship. A soft murmur of approval rippled through the council. The young Lyran man who had opposed Alex stepped forward. His glow shifted from red to pale blue, a sign of calm. I see now. The human has proven worthy. I respect his courage and mind. Alex exhaled quietly, feeling a wave of relief. Thank you. I only did what I could to protect and respect everyone here. The council then turned to Elira's parents. Do you, as guardians, approve this recognition? The elder asked. Her mother's violet glow brightened slightly. Yes, he has shown wisdom, respect, and courage. Elira is safe and her trust is well placed. Her father nodded. It is unusual, but humans are not what we expected. They are clever, brave, and capable of understanding the value of trust. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. Not only had he protected Elira and survived the trials, but he had also earned respect for humanity, a small but important victory. After the formal recognition, the council allowed Alex and Elira to explore the station freely without supervision. They wandered through the markets, the observation decks, and the gardens. Elira taught Alex more about subtle gestures, the meanings behind colors and glows, and how to communicate empathy telepathically. Alex listened intently, fascinated by the depth of her culture. You have learned much," Elira said softly. "But, still, human ways, strange, unpredictable." Alex chuckled. "Yes, we are strange. But sometimes, that strangeness can help. We think differently, act differently, and solve problems in ways others cannot." Elira nodded. "Yes, today, you showed that. Clever, brave, kind. Your ways may teach us too." Their peaceful walk was interrupted by a message from the council. A new delegation from a nearby system had arrived, seeking allies and observers. They wanted to witness the human who had impressed the Lyran council. Alex and Elira went to meet the delegation. The beings were tall and armored, skeptical of humans at first. Alex introduced himself with calm confidence, explaining Earth's values, humanity's achievements, and his respect for other cultures. His honesty and clear thinking impressed the delegation. Elira observed, her glow brightening in pride. "You explain well," she whispered. "Humans, your words, they matter." Alex smiled. "We try. Sometimes it works." The delegation left impressed, spreading word across nearby systems about humans' courage, cleverness, and integrity. Alex realized that one human, acting with honor and intelligence, could influence perceptions across an entire galaxy. It was a small victory for humanity, but a meaningful one. Later, Elira and Alex returned to the observation deck, watching the lavender planet below. "You, humans, may be small," Elira said, "but your spirit, strong, very strong." Alex nodded. "We survive because we think, care, and adapt. We help each other. That is our greatest strength." Elira smiled faintly. "Then, perhaps, together, we can face anything. You, clever, brave, kind. This may be beginning of great things." Alex glanced at the stars beyond the station. "Yes, we've learned a lot from each other. And I hope humanity can continue to grow and prove itself among the stars." The rest of the day passed peacefully. Alex and Elira shared stories of their worlds, learning not only about culture but about hope, courage, and friendship. Alex told her about Earth's cities, its oceans, and the countless challenges humans had overcome. Elira shared stories of Lyra Station, her people, and the lessons of patience and respect that guided her society. By evening, the station's lights dimmed, casting soft glows across the corridors. Alex reflected on the journey. An accidental claim had turned into a test of courage, cleverness, and trust. He had faced trials that seemed impossible, yet humans' unique qualities, adaptability, intelligence, and compassion, had carried him through. Elira's hand brushed his lightly. "Tomorrow, you will face new challenges, but today, you rest. You earned this." Alex smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment he had never known. "Thank you, Elira. I could not have done it without you. Your guidance, trust, and courage made all the difference." She nodded. "Humans may be strange, but your heart, strong, clever, that matters." That night, Alex lay in the guest quarters looking at the stars through the wide windows. The galaxy was vast, full of unknown dangers and new civilizations. But he knew that humanity could thrive, not by dominating, but by thinking, helping, and adapting. He had seen it firsthand on Lyra Station. In his dreams, he imagined future adventures, new worlds, new allies, and new challenges. He imagined humans working alongside aliens, earning trust, and proving their worth not through force but through cleverness, courage, and kindness. The next morning, the council held a small ceremony to commemorate the trials. Alex and Elira stood together, officially recognized as allies and trusted partners. The elders spoke of the unusual but successful bond between human and Lyran, emphasizing the lessons learned, respect, teamwork, and the value of understanding differences. You have shown that humans can inspire trust, respect, and courage, the head elder said. May your example guide others in the galaxy. Humanity is capable of greatness. Alex felt a wave of pride, not for himself alone, but for his entire species. He had demonstrated that humans could face unknown worlds, adapt to strange cultures, and make a positive difference. It was an achievement not of strength, but of mind, heart, and spirit, the essence of HFY. As the ceremony ended, Alex and Elira walked through the station one last time before his departure. Elira looked up at him, her glow bright with admiration. You, clever, brave, kind, you made humans proud, Alex smiled. We all can be. It takes courage, patience, and a willingness to understand others. That's humanity. Elira nodded. Then, perhaps, humans and Lyrans can build friendship and trust together. Alex held out his hand. Together. And as the stars stretched endlessly beyond Lyra Station, Alex knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity had proven itself once again, clever, brave, and capable of facing the galaxy's challenges with honor and heart. Though a simple gesture had caused confusion and tension, it had ultimately led to trust, friendship, and understanding. And in that trust, Alex saw a bright future, not just for himself and Elira, but for all humans among the stars. The galaxy was wide, strange, and full of wonders. But humans, he realized, could shine brightly anywhere. Not because they were the strongest, but because they were clever, adaptable, and capable of great courage and kindness. With Elira by his side, he felt ready for whatever came next. Adventure, challenge, and discovery awaited, and humanity, small but mighty, would meet it head-on. Always curious, always brave, always capable of greatness,